Coming up on this episode of Cade Friends, my guest, Andrew Nichols.
Hi. My first grade teacher was awful.
Okay. Did she hit you or something?
She didn't hit me, but she was mean.
But he's saying that he has like a whole treasure trove of trauma from this lady.
I mean, kind of. Like, it was so bad.
Stop laughing at it, though. He just said he had a treasure trove of trauma, and you laughed at it, as if that's a funny phrase.
I need you to be more supportive. I'm sorry, Andrew.
I support you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, I'm Cade, and welcome to Cade Friends. I am joined this week with my guest, Andrew Nichols.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. How are you all?
I'm good. And then our co-host this time is Mr. Alex Clare.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now,
You may be thinking, wow, that set looks different.
yeah, so for audio listeners, different setup, same place, different setup here. And that is, Andrew, don't lean back. Sorry, don't get comfortable here. We got a whole different, yeah, now you can. Okay. So the situation that we have here, so Andrew showed up, seconds before he showed up, the table and the whole set collapsed. And that was a problem. And we had to rearrange things.
Literally, whenever I came in, he just said, "We have a disaster."
So we had to do some quick thinking, and it's pretty similar, but it allowed me to do some changes that I wanted to do, and that was kind of a do this setup where guest is over here. So the guest is now on a slightly different space than us. It's kind of similar to our Christmas episode, but still. Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I like it.
I kind of like it too. It's kind of more relaxed. We have a different little table here and everything. So
yeah.
And, it really works out because we're currently at a mid-season break in the Cade Friends podcast.
yes, as far as where we're at in life and everything. Yeah.
But what doesn't make it as good is that there are going to be a couple more episodes with the old setup, and then it's going to transition into the new setup.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where this will be. This could be released
Tomorrow.
It could be released tomorrow. It could be released 7 months from now. So,
boy.
Andrew, don't say anything highly specific.
About what?
I don't know.
I wouldn't mention like the hurricane that basically hit Tulsa just like a week ago. That would
yeah,
kind of be
that.
very specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
All right.
mention the submarine.
Oh yeah, the pop can.
Yeah. Don't do that.
That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
Because it's probably going to be in poor taste by then.
It
Like
is-
something's going to come out.
It's going to come around that they actually were only millionaires, and we're like, oh, be nice to them or whatever.
They were all held at gunpoint.
Yeah.
They did it for their families.
They did it for their families. Yeah, I like to think that that they were just accidental billionaires.
There's going to be like some sort of a Netflix documentary coming out about him.
Yeah, you shouldn't laugh. Yeah, I think that's always what happens is like you shouldn't have laughed at this rich person, and you're like, oh man, you're right. That's what always happens with these documentaries, and it's like, okay, well, no,
They did have it rough.
They did have it.
They were just like me.
They only made $300 million a year.
Yeah.
They only made $300 million a year. Those tickets only cost $250,000.
They say you're supposed to feel sad for them, but they were billionaires and they died at like 60 years old. Not all of them, but
I feel bad for the 19-year-old kid.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know enough about these people.
The kid that went was reportedly like he didn't want to go, but he went because of his dad.
His rich father.
Yeah, and so I feel bad.
I feel bad for like the pilot who has to go out into this thing every time.
Oh yeah,
and he's working class.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah,
it's hard. I don't really know where I sit on it because number one, like it's a tragedy.
Yeah,
it sucks.
It is a tragedy.
I'm being serious. Like it is a tragedy.
Number one, it's a tragedy. It's always how I start all my things.
But like the thing is that like everything was shoddily built. The guy who was running it like admitted primarily that like this is not like up to quality, but we don't care anyways. And number three, everybody who went on that sub signed a waiver.
Yeah.
So it's like,
like mentioned death like 5 times or something.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of like YouTubers that it's coming out that like there were a lot of YouTubers that were like invited to go out, and some like went in, but like they didn't obviously go as deep. but there was like bad weather, and so like, you know, I do wonder like were the people misled at all? Because I mean, who's going to read the entire waiver though? Like they probably just signed the waiver. Because do you ever read your waivers?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't. But the thing is that like, you know, that waiver, I watched, there was a CBS Sunday Morning.
Yeah.
They did a report on this about a year ago. And it was actually, they interviewed Stockton Rush and he showed us like the PS3 controller that he controlled it with. And yeah, it's not, it's when you look at the submarine literally looks like it was made in somebody's backyard.
Yeah.
Like it was made in somebody's backyard. And, you know, yeah, I can't trust something like that. I can't trust something that's shoddily made. I can't trust something that.
If this has been a thing that's been going down there for like 5 years.
He's trusted this table that's been in front of him every podcast thing. And it collapsed.
That's not the point. The point is
it could have collapsed on your knees any one of those times.
It could have. This whole thing could have been a disaster.
No, the submarine, it wasn't.
Could have got hotter than the sun.
The submarine was a tragedy though. But all, you know, I'm just,
it's a real tragedy.
We're going to just see, you know, what facts come out. I mean, you know, maybe all of them were held at gunpoint.
We don't have all the facts
Yet.
At
I bet we
the
will.
time of this. Yeah.
Yeah, at the time of this.
This could age really poorly.
This could age really
We
poorly.
might have to cut all of this out.
Yeah.
Should we start a new intro just in case?
So we did lose power here in Tulsa.
Yes.
This is going to be our most timely episode that we've ever put out.
This
It's going to be 9 months from now.
This episode is sponsored by OceanGate.
Yeah.
Rebuild the future.
No, but that is true. What Cade just said. We recently we lost power about
last
a week
week
ago. Yeah, it was
literally. Yeah.
It was last.
You
Sunday.
guys, it basically a hurricane hit Tulsa.
100 miles an hour wind, straight wind.
More than 100 in some places.
And so the tornado sirens went off. Were you awake when that all happened, or did they wake you up?
I was fully conscious. Conscious, but like I was on my computer and I did not know anything about any bad weather. And I was on my computer and I was editing some photos. It was like 11:30, and then I get an alert on my phone, and then all of a sudden I hear the tornado sirens, and I'm like, what's going on? So I turn on the television real quick, and I go to our channels 2, 6, and 8, and they're all saying like, you know, stay away from windows, do all this stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, like this just literally just happened.
And so what does Andrew do? He grabs his phone and goes to the nearest window.
Yes, because that's what you do. You're living in Oklahoma, you guys. You know what are you going to do whenever a tornado is coming to you? You go outside and you record it on your phone.
Now,
he's got a really good little time lapse of the whole situation.
Yeah, I took at the very last minute. I took my GoPro. I took my GoPro and I put it up on my windowsill because I didn't want to put it outside, and I just put it up on my windowsill and I did a time lapse, and it recorded everything that happened, and it was pretty nuts. Like to hear transformers blow up and to see electricity arc to me was like the scariest thing I've ever seen.
You had a good little vantage point from where you
got, and it did pretty well on TikTok.
It
got 1,100 views.
It did do pretty well on TikTok, which really surprised me.
And people were really thankful.
Oh. Well,
thank you for posting this, says Sarah keeps going on TikTok.
Well, thank you very much, Sarah.
You did not reply to her though.
No, but I just did not.
He waited for it to be a Cade Friends exclusive.
Yes, exactly.
But it is crazy just kind of watching that, because I know I mean because I've liked it.
Just now.
I did not just like it. I did not like it.
Thank you.
But it's like, holy cow, you know, that is kind of crazy. And
and what you're seeing right there is like, I mean, granted it's time lapse, so it's sped up to about 2 minutes or so, but it was about maybe, I think all that took place in about 20 minutes.
Out.
Yeah, it was scary. Crazy. Like I was week 2, and it all sort of came across, and I mean, so it came across the metro. It primarily hit downtown and midtown.
Yeah,
that's what got the hardest hit. And there's still a week later some people I know that still don't have power.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
For those, you just got power back yesterday.
Yes, I did.
And
today
Into Friday, yeah.
And for those of you who are wondering, you can follow Andrew Nichols. As of the recording of this, it's his second video, but it says storm time lapse in big yellow font. So go and watch that, and you can see what we're talking about.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Yes.
Now, while all this was going on, my house. So I'm in Ohio when all this is going on, because when all this happened,
Did you get the winds up in Ohio?
no, I think it was rainy a little bit, but so all this is going on, and my house actually got hit with a tornado. My mom just thought it was high winds, and so they hunkered down
In Oklahoma.
Yeah, in Oklahoma.
Okay, all right. I was like, wow.
Yeah, my where my mom lives, my brother and my sister-in-law were visiting, and they actually got hit with a tornado. They didn't realize it was a tornado at the time,
Right.
But a tornado hit our house, and so that was kind of crazy, because I get a text the next morning like, oh yeah, this high wind knocked down a tree, and there's all this stuff, and then it was like a day later, it was like, oh no, that was actually a tornado. So
Oh, did anything happen to the house?
the insurance adjuster came over and looked. As of right now, there was some stuff knocked over, but I don't know if there's like actually any damage, but it doesn't look like there's any like house damage.
Okay.
Our back porch did get a little dent in it, but as far like the cars, nothing was damaged.
That's where I was
other than
worried
the
about
tree.
this car. Or was my car out there?
Yeah, me
Nothing
too.
happened.
Like so normally I'm parked like right under trees. I like whenever the siren started going off, because when the siren started going off, we had about 20 minutes before the storm hit. I moved my car to a different position because I was afraid
Smart
that
thinking.
I was afraid that it was going to get limbs were going to fall off. Now where it was parked before, that didn't happen. But yeah, I was also afraid of like hail.
Or just flying things. Because
just anything flying.
there was a lot of. There was people who said things got like metal things got broke off and pierced cars and stuff. There was a lot of stuff. A lot of tree damage.
A lot of signs bent.
There's a lot of
sign.
tree damage.
Yes. That was it, and it caused. That's what at least these poles snapped. It was like we said, it was pretty much all of Midtown and downtown Tulsa lost power, and it was for days. So we're in the middle of summer, in the summer heat. We're not getting a state of emergency declared for us.
We didn't get a state of emergency declared until like what, Tuesday?
Yeah, it was like a day or two later.
And then
I think it was longer than that.
Yeah, it was longer than that, because there was the whole situation of our governor was out of state, or out of the country. He was over in France.
Yeah, he officially did not visit Tulsa until Friday.
Yeah.
What was he doing in France?
He was doing something, some conference or something, but like the whole situation was that, like, I guess we learned that a governor has to be in the state in order to declare a state of emergency.
Well,
Unless you're an acting governor, which
well,
Yes, that was the whole.
well, see, like,
But then like lieutenant governor was out too. Like it was a whole situation.
well, so the person who was put in charge did not know that they were put in charge. I later learned that, and I was like, does anybody in power just not know what they're doing?
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing, because like the person who did declare a state of emergency, like did not know that, number one, he was in charge, and number two, he could do that.
Yeah.
makes sense.
And that, well, it's
So-
just, I don't know. Your job is for the well-being of your citizens, and your second largest city has. It fell into like almost like Mad Max style
Pretty much.
hysteria around here.
Pretty
There's
much.
no power. It's middle of the heat. There was a run on gas. We were out of gas for like a few days. Like it was insanity around here. We had heat advisors. So it was an awful situation. There was no ice. It was a whole situation here, and governors out there just in France.
He's in France, but no, I had to. Where did you go for?
I went back to my parents' house.
I did too. I went to my parents' house, but they're in Bartlesville, which is about 40 miles away from here. And excuse me. And like what happened? Hey, I don't want to do that on here. No, I went there, and I had to. I didn't have anywhere else to stay because everybody else I knew who was down here also didn't have power. So, there was nowhere else I could stay. So I just went up there. It was Father's Day anyway. So I just went up there for Father's Day. And,
I liked the joke as well that, like Travis Meyer also, he was getting married. And so he wasn't able to
Travis
report
Myers, a
anything.
local
Local hero.
weatherman. We brought him up previously on the show.
And so I guess he was out of town when this all happened. So, but no, people compared it to like a level 2 or level 1 hurricane because of the winds.
Well,
That I didn't know.
so your immediate thing was take out a phone and record it and everything. Andrew is a photographer. I guess we can say that.
Andrew Nichols.
I dabble in that.
Dabble in that. You do that quite often. You're always busy photographing things, events, people. Also
Do you do that for free, or are people hiring you?
people hire him?
People hire me.
That's awesome.
People hire me, and in any
The IRS wants to know how much.
the IRS is never going to know. I do pay my taxes, so like,
Well, don't wink. I'm just so suspicious.
well, this is a wink. This is like a wink to the IRS, just like
Oh, it's for them.
it's
so.
for them.
Okay. Okay.
Because if I was to do this, I pay my taxes. Then it would be suspicious.
Okay. So it's a joke it's an inside joke with the IRS.
Yes. But no, I do. I carry my camera around pretty much everywhere I go. I have it. It's not in here. It's in the next room, but I carry it around pretty much everywhere I go anymore.
Yeah.
So you're like open carrying.
Pretty much.
Open carrying
Yeah.
in the state of
I
Oklahoma.
think
It's
that's
legal.
what they-
Yeah.
Yeah. Just ready to shoot.
Ready to shoot.
Andrew is always he's packing.
The
Hey, I didn't say anything else. I just said you're packing because that's what it's called.
So you do a lot of photography. I mean, like I'm always surprised because Andrew doesn't post that he's doing all this stuff, but I'll sit there and I follow a lot of theater things around here. I watch a lot of theater around, and then I'll see a thing that's like a photo by Andrew Nichols, and it's just all around. You see these photos by Andrew Nichols.
That's me.
And I don't ever see you share that you're doing all that stuff. I mean, I know that you're doing it from personal life, but I don't. Yeah, if I were you, I'd always be like, I took this photo. Here's another photo I took.
Well, so I'm getting a little bit better at that because I unfortunately have that drastic or that stupid thing called social anxiety. And the thing is that to be honest with you, you're not the first person to tell me that.
Yeah.
So like I've been like, oh yeah, I need to make more aware of this. So, yeah, no,
Who's this?
somebody is going off.
Is it your laptop? Is it your phone?
It's my phone.
Okay. I was gonna say my phone's in the next room.
I turned mine to vibrate just in case.
Yeah. Sorry. Andrew was saying something really profound here. He was opening up, and you didn't have to pay. Didn't have to.
It started to get really
So
distracting.
yes, I think you should do that more. I muted it. I was trying to do that silently. But yes, I think you. Yeah, you should do that more because I see. There's a lot of really great. So you do a lot of photography of theater, of live shows for promotion,
And it's fun too because the thing is that like whenever I do photos for like theater or any type of events, I really love taking pictures of theater because like it's number one, like you're getting a free show of this premiere, like especially if it hasn't happened yet. And I love that. I love seeing like that type of process. I love the making of process whenever it comes to film or theater. I think it's just a magnanimous process that a lot of people get involved in, and especially with lights, because more or less I work often with natural light and I love artificial light, but theatrical light to me is like a whole nother level. And I did theatrical lighting at the last job I did, and for several years. And but that's one thing I absolutely love is just setting up those types of lights.
Yeah.
So, and seeing them in action.
Yeah. So you're there like during like dress rehearsal or something?
Yep.
Or like is it final dress or is it like one of the earlier?
It's mainly final dress rehearsal. Mm-hmm. And
that's kind of late in the process though, right? To get photos of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's what they want because like the thing is that like that's their time to like. It's the only time when I can actually be on stage with the other actors because whenever I'm taking photos, I can't do it if there's a live performance going on with an audience behind them. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
I tell the people in charge, I'm like, listen, for best reactions, I'm going to have to get close.
Yeah.
And they completely understand. They completely.
So you just do it, the dress rehearsal.
So they really can't use it for promotion if it's that late, right? You do some promotional things before too, right?
Oh yeah. So the director or whoever's in charge of the production, I'll come in and I'll have a couple of lights and they'll say like, we want this. This is what the show's about. And right then and there is when you have to come up with a quick concept.
Well, I know for when at RSU, there would be times where like you would just get a couple photos, like a week or two, just like a select couple of costumes that are ready.
Yeah.
You would just kind of get a couple of those photos. And then obviously you would get some during the dress rehearsal as well. And then they would, because sometimes our dress rehearsal was a week before. And so they would just use those images for like a week before.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes like even during dress rehearsals, they don't have everything in. You both were in theater, so you all know what that's like.
Yeah.
Especially when you have like a costume that's either not ready or there's a malfunction or it's just something like that. I remember doing a show one time. It was The Lion in Winter, where the king in The Lion in Winter did not get his costume ready until 30 minutes before the show premiered.
Wow.
And it's called The Lion
in Winter.
What do you think that's about, Alex?
I'm guessing it's like a lion in New York, like Madagascar style.
Think there's an actual lion? He said that he played the king. So there is at least that's the information that we have.
I did not play the king.
Yeah,
but
there was a king.
I think it's about a real lion.
Okay,
it's actually about a tiger in the summer.
Interesting.
I don't like the name.
That sounds boring.
But also like to go on like about to kind of like riz you up a little bit, get you some riz.
Can you say that again?
Riz you up. Because Andrew's got riz. You've also, you just won within the past week.
Within the past 7 months.
Sorry.
Not 7 months, 9 months.
You have a front page photo on the front page of a magazine.
I believe so. Now don't quote me on that, but I think what I've won right there is the People's Choice. So,
and you've gotten this before there for this.
I have gotten this. I have gotten this before. So that's the second time I won People's Choice.
Oh, I misread it. So keep checking to see the judge's choice.
Yeah, which I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who that's going to be.
So you don't know the judges.
I only know like 2 of the judges.
Okay, you don't know how many judges are there?
I don't know.
Okay,
but but the thing is that I know that I won People's Choice, so I will be in that magazine one way or the other.
Okay, just gotta make it happen.
You're an award-winning photographer.
Well, daggum, yeah, I try to be.
Yes. Yeah, and people can follow you.
People can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Even though I don't do my TikTok is more or less for
funsies,
just for funsies. But like I have two Instagram. I have 2 Instagram channels. One is just called C Andrew Nichols Photos, and the other was called, which is my personal, Andrew_of_Nichols.
And then your Facebook is C Andrew Nichols Photos.
That is correct.
But TikTok is Candrew Nichols.
Yep, that is me.
Andrew. What's the most beautiful place that you photographed?
Oh, God. The most beautiful place I've ever photographed. I have to really think about that because...
Well, while you think, we'll vamp.
Okay.
What's the most beautiful place you've ever photographed?
I would have to say, honestly, now that I think about it, I would have to say...
Good vamping.
New York City.
Oh, just the whole city.
In Times Square.
Times Square.
Yeah.
Not Tulsa.
I love Tulsa, but
doesn't have as many LED screens.
It doesn't have as many LED screens or buildings, like tall buildings, tall skyscrapers. So the thing is that
he loves his skies to be scraped.
Yes. Absolutely. But no,
If he
like,
had it his way, there would be no corner of the sky unscraped.
and torn. But no, New York City and Times Square. New York City and Times Square at about 1:00 in the morning.
Okay,
And
very
there's
specific.
there's hardly anybody there. The last time I was there was just before 2020. It was
Some could call that 2019.
It was December of 2019.
Oh, okay.
So that is right before 2020.
Yeah. And I did my Christmas shopping in New York City, and which I don't
You were on
do.
top of the world.
You know what?
You said, what can go wrong?
What can go wrong? From here on out, it should be great.
Yeah.
Little did I know,
Yeah.
it was not great.
I tell you, I found when I went to Times Square, I found it to be smaller than what I thought it was going to be.
Really?
I felt it seemed like I was on like a set of what that was. I assumed it was going to be like this giant sort of, but it kind of felt smaller than I thought.
When was the last time you went?
It was 2018, 2017.
Here's the thing: is that like
It's gotten bigger since then.
They added an extra row.
you know, I actually kind of agree with you because what they're doing is that, you know, growing up, anytime I always saw Times Square, there was always traffic and whatnot going each way. Now they're not doing that. They're completely blocking it off to where they just want people in Times Square. And I don't know where that begin. I don't know New York City, so like I don't know where that begins or where that ends. So
I guess it's good. You kind of want to be a pedestrian. So, I mean, like a lot of places are doing that.
Yeah.
They kind of want to make them like these little places where there's not cars. I mean, you want people to sort of be trapped in there and everything. But yeah, I don't know. I think because they're all shot like low and up, that you kind of just look at it that way. But when you're in it, it doesn't like have that sort of wide angle sort of thing. So I just feel like I've been somewhat, the images I've seen have been somewhat distorted from what it actually feels like being inside of it.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know where you could stand in Times Square to like get that one perfect shot. But I would say like right on the tickets booth.
Okay.
Because there's that giant tickets booth, and it's got like an audience section on it.
Yes,
Or it's got a bleachers section.
And what's the bleachers for?
I have never been to New York City.
I honestly don't know. You know what, Alex? You should go. I think I think you would love it.
You should go.
Okay. You know what? Go get in your car and go drive up. You live in Ohio, which is close to New
It's
York
not too
City.
bad. Yeah, it's not too far.
Yeah, you're probably like what, 3 hours away from it?
Oh no, I think it's like an 8 or 10 hour drive.
Still though.
It's just as close as here, right?
Yeah.
New York City would be closer than here.
See?
There you go.
See?
So what's your excuse?
Let me give you the exact.
While he's looking that up. But yeah.
I don't know what the bleachers are for.
I don't know what the
people
bleachers are
just
for
sit
either.
there.
I guess people, people just need to rest for a second, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it like New York City is number
7 hours,
one.
43 minutes.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
New York City is what?
New York City is probably the most beautiful place I've ever
I
photographed.
don't know if anyone's ever said this, but New York City is the city that never sleeps.
It's also a really big apple.
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I don't think it's even a metaphor.
Have you been to like
I think
people?
it's a large apple.
It's just a giant apple, and there's a worm somewhere in there. I don't know.
People say that like the Northeast in the fall, like Vermont and all that, is really pretty. Have you done anything over there yet?
No, and I would love to.
Because that might take your number one spot for.
Yes,
I want to go to Maine.
Same.
I want to be in a lighthouse. I want to go in there and grab a lobster out of the coast and just eat it raw.
You know, I just recently I went on a work trip to Georgia, where we ate fresh crab.
The country or the state?
And say what?
The country or the state?
The state. So
A work trip?
yeah, it was a work trip. We went there for like a meeting with several other marketing people. And the thing is that we went there and we ate. The first night we were there, we ate at like a seafood restaurant, and that I'm not joking you. That was some of the best food I've eaten. It's like it really
Seafood
was.
on coast just destroys anything that you get here.
Pretty much,
land.
seafood here just doesn't hold a candle.
No. But yeah, I want lobster rolls up in Maine, and I want to see that whole area up there. It seems like I feel like I could That could be a spot that I would live because I do love Seattle. Up
You
there
know,
too.
the other thing is that like if you go to like Vermont, like Vermont, I'm surprised at how small it is because like the capital of Vermont is Montpelier. There's less than 10,000 people there.
That's small.
I would not have been able to tell you the capital of Vermont.
Why?
I know a lot of them, but Montpelier, I don't know the Northeast.
Why?
You're in the U.S.
I don't know.
You're in the U.S., Alex. You're supposed to know that.
I know like, more Middle West, but the Northeast is just too much.
What is the capital of Ohio?
Columbus
What is the capital of Oklahoma?
City.
Yes.
Oklahoma City.
Okay, cool.
What's your proudest? What are you most proud about, accomplishment-wise?
Oh boy. Most proud about accomplish-wise. Sitting here and talking to you.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm noticing that this is an odd situation because this blocks my legs where I can't. But I can't.
Would you like to have some blanket?
I would like a way I could extend this leg.
Here.
I'm going to extend it across you like that.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
So now you can extend your leg.
Yeah, so I'm in a similar circumstance. My right leg, I don't think anyone can see it really. I can stretch that one no problem. The left one though,
Yeah, the left one's kind of
We're
learning some issues with this setup here.
But I still like the setup.
I do like the setup. I think if we just got a better table, we'll get.
Yeah.
So you're proudest of sitting, but seriously though, you mean like you're.
You've won awards.
You've won awards.
I've won, I've won
an
awards.
actor.
But the truth is that like what my proudest achievement is really just, I think my proudest achievement was the first time I ever got like published. And that was on, that was in 2014.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That was in 2014 when I sent my picture in as a finalist. I sent my picture in for, the Photographers Forum. And to my surprise, they took it. And I was like, wow, that's like my proudest achievement. Everything else has just been like stacked. But that was like my very first achievement.
Hey, Andrew?
I did a what do you call it? A photo gallery with a very good friend of mine. And I would say
Remain nameless right now.
Yeah. Kenna Stimson. So,
Hey, Andrew, I just want to point out, Cade and I had not yet graduated high school the first time you got published.
for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want that out there.
Alrighty then. All right. So, but no, the like doing that with her, and then having my own, and then being in several other galleries. Anytime I'm doing a gallery, I consider that an achievement because it's like, I would say like that is like all right,
You're really not comfortable, Cade.
I'm trying to make this look. I'm doing a lot. Do not call it out. He's telling a nice story.
But the other thing is,
I'm trying to visually. I know this looks bizarre that Andrew and I are sharing this blanket, but okay. Here. No. It's no.
There you go.
Do you want some of this?
I'm fine.
so anyway. But yeah, that and also teaching photography and video.
I'm so happy, Andrew, that you've carried on because other guests would have stopped at any point and would have. But I'm glad that you acted like what was happening with me was totally normal.
And then I won my Nobel Prize, but we're not going to talk about that.
So,
and my 17 Oscars that
So you're gonna try teaching still again or more? Do you want to do that more?
I don't know. Like I liked it, but it's. I mean,
did you say you taught photography?
I taught photography and video.
Wait, when did you teach photography?
I taught photography about a year ago at Rogers State University.
I didn't know they had a photography class.
Well, they have a photography.
class.
Yeah, it's a night class. But the thing is that it's one of the options for the fine arts for the multimedia.
Oh,
and photography is one of them. But they do all different kinds of photography. They do like black and white 2, which I don't know what that entails. Digital color.
Which class did you teach specifically?
I taught digital color.
Okay.
I taught digital color. And
So stuff you do with the camera.
oh yeah.
Okay.
No. I just I tell them, go get a cereal box and
I I didn't know you. I did not know you. I knew you taught the video class, but I did not know that you taught photography as well.
Yep. I taught both of them.
So
And
this is a good segue just to keep us on this. So Andrew, usually we like to talk about, what we've been doing since the last time we were on. I haven't done that yet, but you, if you're comfortable with it, have been through a lot of, over the past year and a half, you've done a whole lot of new stuff and now you have a new job.
Yep. I am no longer working for Rogers State University, but I am now working for Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology, or OSUIT for short. And it's in Okmulgee. I am their videographer / photographer.
How far is Okmulgee from Tulsa?
About the same distance from here to Claremore. So it's about 37 miles, maybe about 40 miles or so.
So about a 45-minute drive, I would say.
Give or take, yeah. Yeah.
And so so if I go to the OSU IT page and the photos that they're posting or on their website, those photos are coming from you.
Most of them, yeah. If you go on their their social media pages, we've been doing, the one thing we've been really wanting to do, we're really trying to press, is more video. So we've been doing a lot of reels. We've been doing a lot of reels, and we try to put that out as much as possible. The other
Do you have
thing,
a TikTok?
say what?
Do you have a TikTok?
We do.
Oh,
We do.
I did not know that.
And we have a TikTok, we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook. I think we have Twitter, but you don't quote me on that.
So these photos of the linemen, and that's all you. That was
All
you.
those are mine.
That's awesome.
How'd you photograph the lineman?
So the latest one,
Not football linemen either.
no, the latest one, which is, it's just a guy, like all you see is just a guy like literally climbing a pole. I got that 2 days before the storm hit.
Just
Just for fun.
just coincidentally, you were out
for
there.
fun.
Oh wow!
Because they're right down the road. So I'm over there. The lineman is like one of our popular programs.
Interesting.
It's one of our more popular programs. So I'm out there. They're out there in the morning, and they have to be. But like I'm over there, and I just say there's a good opportunity. I'm gonna go, and my boss is just like, go get it. So I just go out there, and I'm out there for probably about an hour or so while they're doing their stuff. I don't know how people do that because I couldn't do that.
Oh.
I have.
So were you parallel with? Were you up looking up at him?
So no, are you talking about that one that was?
Can you pull up the photo? Are you able to pull it up, Cade?
Oh, we can add it in post.
No, he was on the ground, and I just watched him climb. All these pictures I took from the ground.
So that's from the ground?
That's all from the ground.
That's the one I was referring to.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I kind of thought it was a little bit more parallel than that. So they're not high up.
this
No.
one looks parallel though. So, and
I guess that might
when
be
he stepped
closer.
off.
Yeah, that's as he was climbing up.
Okay, so maybe he was like just a couple feet off the ground for that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was talking about that
And,
one.
and like I said, I don't know how those people do it because if you look in that first photo,
God.
if you're looking at
this one,
no,
this one.
that one. I mean, all they
a
really
lot of work for posts.
all they really have is just like there's something on their boots that like digs into the pole and a leather strap that goes around the pole.
Right there on the other photo.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, that's all they got.
You have any video of them climbing?
I don't have any video, but I did make a reel a long time ago.
Well, that's lucky for you, Kate.
So you enjoyed over there?
I love it. I really do. And
What was your conference with it? Because your conference was obviously with OSUIT.
well, it wasn't a conference. It was just a meeting because we also have we partner with somebody else for marketing, and we get marketing strategies, marketing ideas. We went and had a meeting down there because their headquarters is in Georgia. And so we went down there and had an all-day meeting about what types of ideas, what types like who our main base should be. So we just had an all-day conference with them. And they're great people. They're great people. And we walked out of there like energized, like ready to deliver more
have
stuff.
some ideas.
Yeah.
Energized.
Like a bunny.
Like a bunny. What were you like as a child?
right. I wasn't done yet.
What was I like as a child?
I can't wait for the YouTube. It's going to go very sudden. Just talking about OSUIT child.
I was, oh boy, I'll be honest with you. My childhood was pretty boring. I watched a lot of movies. I watched a lot of television. I played with Legos a lot, which if you know me, like I love Legos, like even today.
Right. Cade and I were looking at Legos just the other day, and
We were in the kids aisle of a Target.
Super Target.
You know what? Okay,
Super
listen.
Target.
Okay, listen. The thing is about if you go in the Lego aisle, there's more Legos for adults than there are for kids.
That's what we were noticing. I'm like, when did Legos become like black boxes?
I mean, that's fairly recent.
That is what Cade said. He said, it's a black box.
Like there are all these black boxes. I'm like, this is like seems very serious.
Yeah, it's
like when did Legos become serious?
No, like the thing is that now I read a report about that. Like Legos are now more inclined to be marketed towards adults.
That's fascinating.
Because you can do more with them. Like I have the Lego DeLorean.
Oh, holy cow!
From Back to the Future.
Does the door go?
Yeah, it does all that stuff.
Have you made it?
I have made it. Oh no! I'm sorry. No, I didn't make that one. I still have that one in the box. But one thing I did do was I bought the Apollo Moonlander, and
That was shot in L.A.
That was shot in L.A. Actually, no, that
Like
was
Mead. It was the Stanley Kubrick on Area 51. That's why they keep it closed, is because it looks so close to the lunar surface.
But no, I also like one thing you could do is buy light kits for it, and you can attach like attach a light kit to
Would you
it
do any of this?
and turn it on.
I'm not creative enough.
I mean, it looks cool at night.
So did you buy the light kits?
I did.
Okay.
Are they Lego light kits or
No? They're not Lego light kits. Like Lego doesn't make them. They're like made for like somebody else makes them. There's another
Third party.
Yeah,
But they made it.
They made it directly for this, and it looks so cool.
That's crazy.
That's fascinating. Also, from all these thoughts I had in the kids the toys aisle for the first time in years at the Super Target, like they're selling. Because I as a kid I did action figures and everything. They had Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
they were selling Hasbro. I guess Hasbro owns Kenner now, the old Kenner brand.
Yeah,
and so they're selling old Kenner versions of Indiana Jones. And I'm like,
see that.
What kid wants to buy these like 1980s? Like they're awful. They're awful looking. Well, but they're retro branding.
But if you look at there's Sala, there's I forget what they have right now because I recently saw that too. They have Indiana Jones, they have Sala, they have Tote, they have Marion, and they have Belloc. And unless you know Raiders of the Lost Ark, you're not going to know what any of that stuff means. Okay. Because have you ever seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, Alex?
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, but I've seen all the Indy Jones.
Okay. It's one of my favorite movies, but I looked at it and I'm like, that's cool to look at. I don't think I would buy it.
Well, you would buy if you were that much of a fan, you would go and buy an original Kenner. I mean, I know it's a lot of money, but you would go and buy the original ones. You wouldn't go and buy a brand new knockoff. It's and these look awful by today's standards.
They do. They suck,
and they don't have the articulation that you need and everything.
No.
So it's
Cade really
confusing.
knows about action figures.
As a kid, I collected action figures.
Yeah. And I totally agree with you because all these action figures can do is just move their arms and legs. That's it.
What else do you need?
You have to have elbows, and some of them even have wrists.
Well, and you have to have accessories with it.
I did G.I. Joes. I played with G.I. Joe action figures.
Oh, really? I got all the branded stuff. I had Indiana Jones when Crystal Skull came around, but Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars. Star Wars was the big one I had. I have tons.
I had a ton of Star Wars too.
Star Wars.
My favorite was G.I. Joe, and we had a tank, and the top opened, and you could put the G.I. Joe in the tank.
Yeah. You probe the what is it? The
pro-military?
the America going into these countries and obliterating them. And
You pro-militarization?
I don't know if anyone's pro-military.
Oh, I could name a couple people.
I don't think.
there's a word I'm trying to come up with.
I don't think most people want the U.S. to go into another country and just destroy it. I think that's most people.
I mean,
I'm sure there's some people.
yeah.
Yeah.
But most common people, whether left or right, I would feel confident saying most people don't want us going into another country.
Was there anything you got in trouble with in childhood? Were you a troublemaker at all?
I wasn't really a troublemaker.
Did you spill some beans or something at some point and get in trouble for it?
No.
Still from the cookie jar?
Did you steal from the cookie jar and get in trouble for it? What'd you get in trouble for?
What I used to do. I don't think I did anything.
Did you get in trouble?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I used to light fires.
Fire starter.
Let's hear more about this.
Stephen King's fire starter.
I was a fire starter. I had what they call a firebug, because the thing is that like when I was about 7 years old, I just looked on your DVD shelf and I saw Troll 2. And no, the thing is that I used to start fires whenever I was younger. I used to be in my room with some matches, and I just like to see if things burn. And
inside your room.
Inside my room.
Oh my gosh.
And the next thing that really, like, my parents really got on to me was about a year later, because a year had passed since my first burning incident. I didn't set the house on fire either time, but like I had like a bunch of piled up leaves up against right next to the house, like on the front porch. Oh, no. And I saw this thing on television that like an aerosol can, if you put it next to an open flame, it'll actually shoot out flames. Yeah. So as you all can imagine, I lit some leaves. And there was like a little bit of a fire right there, and I just put up against a can of spray paint, and I just went, and it created the effect until my mom came rushing in from the grocery store and screaming at me, like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, which can could have exploded on you.
The can could have exploded. I mean, I didn't know this at the time because, I didn't know. But like my mom was just like, she went crazy on me, which, when you're setting fires right next to the house, who wouldn't?
Oh, yeah.
And then my dad came home and he went crazy on me. So
Did you ever get in trouble, Alex?
Did
you set anything on fire?
I do love fires, but I was usually a pretty good kid. I mean, I got in the occasional trouble. I mean, the worst thing I did was I wrote in wet cement at school.
Oh, what were they doing with the cement at school?
So when I was in school, I was in yearbook. So we had freedom.
I was too.
Yeah, it was a fun class. And so we had the freedom to walk around the school during that hour and take photos of, different kids and stuff. And activities. So we walk across, because my school, I went to Outage, and the elementary school is here, the middle school is here, and the high school is here, just across the street. It is literally that close. Wow. So, yeah, very...
Inches apart.
So what?
Inches apart.
Not inches. Feet. And so we walked over to the elementary, and they were like redoing the sidewalk. And I saw the wet cement, and what kid doesn't want to write their initials in wet cement? So I put my initials in it and left, and we came back later.
Full 3 initials or just 2?
Just AC.
Okay.
And then I felt bad about it, so I came back and I tried to erase it. So I just kind of scribbled up, but the cement had set a little bit more by that time, and so it was like...
Did you do it with your finger?
Yes.
Okay.
I tried to go, but it didn't really set, and so we just walked away.
You could have made like the A into like a star.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I just panicked and I left. And then the next day comes around, and I get in trouble, obviously. They're like, "Alex, did you write in the cement?" And I was like, "I sure did. I am so sorry about that."
Well, at least you owned up to it.
Yeah. And I got...
said that's a different AC.
Yeah. Well, I should have.
It could have been like air conditioning.
One of my teachers later said, and I was like, "Why would you admit to it? There's other ACs in the school. Like you could have gotten away with that. Like, why would you be?" And I was like, "I don't know. I was just, I don't know." And so I got in-school suspension. I had 2 different teachers come to me, and they were like disappointed in me. They're like, "Alex, I'm disappointed in you. Why would you do something like this?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm stupid."
Yeah, It's wet cement. Like, who cares?
Well, here's what gets better. I was told that, like, usually this would cost someone like $500 to replace it, but the superintendent's granddaughter, who's like 4 or 5 years old, accidentally walked through that very same wet cement.
Oh.
So because of her, I did not have to pay anything because they had to replace it anyways. But there was the threat of, you might have to pay $500.
Did they give her in-school suspension?
They should have.
They should have.
Uh-huh.
I mean, sure, I guess. But the thing is that it's cement. Like, big deal. Like, who's gonna?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. You write your. How big were the initials?
Like it.
That's nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. I mean, if we put what I maybe should have done, I should have put like seniors 2015 or seniors 15, and then maybe that would have been a little more acceptable.
Yeah. But they would have found you.
Well, then it could have been anyone. I could be like, it wasn't me. Only one person knew that I did it, and so.
What about you? Did you get in trouble a lot as a kid?
No, you just sort of anytime you thought you were going to, you just lied your way out of it.
I will say there was another thing I did that was a very heinous act.
Oh, okay.
I was a gum chewer.
Okay.
I was the gum chewer of the school.
He's the gum kid.
Yeah, you're also that gum. So in high school,
it happens.
There's like a couple of like, big sins. You can't show shoulders if you're a girl. Mm-hmm. You can't chew gum in a classroom, in like some of the classrooms. And so I am not a girl, but I did chew gum. Mm-hmm. And so, but I usually didn't get caught with gum. Mm-hmm. And if I did,
I'm here to chew bubble gum and show shoulders, and I'm all out of shoulders.
Because, but like, some of the teachers, they like didn't care about gum, didn't care if you ate snacks in the classes. And then some, they were like, no gum, no food, no anything. Yeah, like some water, you can have a bottle of water and that's it. Yeah. And so I would chew gum, and if I got caught, most of the teachers liked me. I was a bit of a teacher's pet, and they would just be like, Alex, throw out the gum, and I'd be like, oh my god, I'm sorry,
that's heinous.
Oh yeah, for some. Did you guys not have teachers that were like really?
We couldn't wear. Whenever I was in grade school, we couldn't wear hats.
Yeah,
we couldn't wear hats. We could not chew gum, and some of the things that like the kids say that like even like a 9-year-old would be like, that was a stupid response. They would say like, oh, I'm just chewing on my tongue. Like, who chews on their tongue? I don't know anybody who
chew on your tongue. Comment below, please.
Like.
Yeah,
I'm just chewing on my tongue.
I did get in trouble. So there was this one. So again with these weird rules. In middle school, we particularly had a principal who was very like, here's your rules. Like, she was very like militaristic with her rules. So there was a lot of rules. It was known across, because there were several different middle schools in where I went, and this one was the one that was it was the newest school, but it was also the most militaristic of the schools because of their system, and she was very proud of this. So she had her army of cronies were the teachers who all sort
of cronies.
Or I was going to say her army of cronies. Wow.
Is that how you feel about teachers, Cade?
No, I mean there were some who were like would roll their eyes about certain things, but then there were some that was like, hey, we're going to follow the harsh mandates that was set into by our grade leader. And so there were some teachers who did that, who fell in line with these stupid rules. So what happened was, there was this one teacher who remained nameless. She was our social studies teacher. She was one of the oldest teachers who was there at the
people are going to be able to narrow that down pretty easily.
She was everyone did not like her. She was mean, and she I always stood up for her. Fun fact. I thought that she was just, I don't like people who didn't like teachers and everything, and they were kind of thought they were mean.
There you go. You're digging yourself back out of the hole.
And I always like stood up when people were like kind of rude or whatever about her, and I'm like, oh, she's trying her best, and she's an interesting person. She played the violin, which did not help her. So like during like assemblies, they'd come out and they'd be like, and now here's her. She's going to play her violin.
Was she good?
She was good. She learned late in life. That was her whole thing. It's like, she's like, I learned late in life. Here's my violin. That's cool. It was like a classic, it was like some Mozart thing or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so she would do that, and everyone would kind of roll their eyes or, whatever. They were mean to her, I felt like. But anyways, she so one of the rules is that you couldn't wear sunglasses. Okay, gonna be a cool kid with the sunglasses. Gonna wear your Oakleys or whatever. People got them swatted off of their face or whatever. But what happened was, so there was a. I don't wear sunglasses, by the way. I wear prescription glasses. But we had a tornado drill. Not a tornado drill. It would have been a fire drill. And we had to exit the building while I was in her class and do the fire drill or whatever. Fire's happening whenever we go outside and do all that. Well, I wear transition lenses. And I did back then too. I've always wore transition lenses. And so we go out, we come back in, and of course my glasses transitioned whenever we went outside, because we went outside into the sun. And so we get inside, and this teacher says, take off your sunglasses. And I'm like, I can't. These are, transition lenses. Or she's like, well, just take off the shades. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. They're transition lenses. And she's like, well, take them off until they transition. So I had to sit there and sit blind because I can't see without my glasses while she continued with her class and everything until these things transitioned.
Pardon me for saying, what a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she died of cancer, and
wow.
And it was a whole sad situation.
Okay, can I retract my statement? Can you edit that out?
Yeah, it was a situation. There was a whole funeral type thing for her because she died like a year or two later. Because I was in 6th grade, she died when I was
okay. I feel bad about all of that now.
And and that could have been some of her irritability. But yeah, no, I had her back at the time.
After the sunglasses incident, did you?
I was kind of upset with her. I'm like, I had your back, lady, for all this time. But yeah, then they had a whole funeral and a thing for her and everyone. It was like a situation of that's kind of a mixed feelings in that sort of situation. It's tragedy.
It was always interesting. I'm sorry. I feel like moment of silence.
You have to take in the whole of this lady.
I feel terrible about what I just said now.
Well, no, I think everyone.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah, everyone felt awful because of how the whole situation was whenever that was learned. So I was just trying to give you the totality of this lady's life.
Wow.
Well, the last 3 years.
Jeez Louise. So,
but they were like, she's a lifelong learner. She learned to play the violin. It colored everything. Once you learn that information.
She was just a stickler for the rules.
She was a stickler for the rules, and you didn't know that at the time. There's no way to know.
Recipes.
She was. To put a bow in this, Alex. She wasn't nice, but she was a.
She was a teacher.
She was a teacher, and she got an impact on students that was widespread. I learned about Mesopotamia or whatever.
Did you learn anything from her though?
Mesopotamia.
So, it's always weird because I look back at some of my teachers, and of course, you have the strict teachers, and then you have the teachers who are strict with everyone, but then there's the students they're not as strict with, whether that's because they like them or they're they hate them but they also love them, so that love-hate relationship. Most teachers liked me, I will go out and say. And so if I ever broke a rule, which I hardly ever did, but if I ever did, they were usually a little more lenient on me. So if I chewed gum, they would be like, Alex, you would spit it out, and I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Are you chewing on your tongue?
No, I chewed gum. I have no problem.
So you would admit your wrongdoing.
Oh yeah,
see, that was my thing. I never admitted my wrongdoing. They all liked me, and then whenever they confronted me about anything, I'd just be like, that person's lying, or that
And they believed you.
And they believe me always.
Were you the FBI profiler?
Yeah, I mean they weren't going to I was a good student. They weren't going to ever do that, and they wouldn't call me out on it. Because they were like, well, he does so good all the time, So it was a situation.
See, I wasn't a smart student. So my brother was a year ahead of me, and so my brother was a smart one, and I was just the average dumb one. And so
come on now, give yourself a little bit of credit.
I have my fortes, but he was good. He and so sometimes they would mess up our names or whatever. But it's we were very different in the classes, and so but luckily they seemed to like me, and I think my brother was a good student, so I think that kind of was okay, well, if your brother Adam is a good student, you'll probably be a good student. I mean, I was, but I just wasn't good with grades. But I always had gum, and so I was the gum kid like Andrew. And
Andrew gave away gum.
Yeah, I gave away the gum as well to my friends.
Well, look at that.
But I would
So what brand would you do?
oh my gosh, what is it called? It's the light blue packaging, spearmint.
Like Winter Fresh or something?
There's the winter one, and then there was like spearmint.
Double mint.
That's the statement of the great mint.
I'll tell you, the one that was very
I'm gonna look this
popular
up.
when we were in high school, I don't know about you, Alex, we was high school at the same time, but was 5 Gum.
Yep. Yeah.
And that was very popular. And then, I assume that they went boom. And then, but Andrew brought some recently to our trivia, and I was like, I didn't know they still made these.
Yeah. They made, whenever I was in high school, they had 5 Gum.
But they didn't have the branding like they do currently, right? Or something like that. They did?
Okay.
Yeah.
I did winter mint. It was 5 Gum. It was 5 Gum as well. Winter mint, and then there was like a lighter blue one. So I think winter mint, and then was it just spearmint? It wasn't spearmint.
Yeah,
there's Winter Fresh.
There's Winter Fresh, there's spearmint, and there was one more.
Here it is.
They did one that was fruit.
Cobalt.
Yeah.
Cobalt was mine.
That's just 5 Gum.
5 Gum cobalt, but the flavor was cobalt.
What's it called? 5?
I don't know.
5 calories, maybe?
It might be 5 calories. Hey, Google. Why is 5 Gum called 5 Gum?
According to Wikipedia.org, the name 5 hints at the 5 human senses, with the ad slogan, stimulate
that's
your
right.
senses, and how it feels to chew 5 gum, and that it has 5 calories. Do you want a little more context?
No.
No.
Well, that's interesting.
So they called it New 5 Gum when we were in high school.
I wonder if they just came out with different flavors then.
It was the obscure rules that always got. So at my school, and I know a lot of people who are listening and watching, like they're going to relate because it's like, like you said, no hats makes sense. No hats indoors. Like I never had a problem with that. I was never.
They always thought you were going to like start a gang with your hats. That's what they said.
It doesn't make sense why you couldn't wear a hat. But
I never. Yeah,
I think it's the respect thing. It's like it's a respectful thing to take off a hat indoors or whatever.
Yeah.
Never had a problem with that. Sunglasses, I guess it makes sense because you're indoors. But what got me was always like I had a lot of friends who were like I had a lot of friends in school, and the female ones obviously you can't wear anything showing your shoulders, or you can't wear anything like above your knee. And so it was just like the dress code. No leggings, or if you wore leggings, you had to wear a shirt that went down past your butt.
Okay.
And so it was all these like rules specific for females.
Yeah.
But if a guy could just basically wear anything he wanted.
Yeah.
And so that was always like, what's up with that? I mean, the only thing we can't do is wear a hat. Meanwhile, the girls are like, you can't wear this or that. Your skirts have to be this long, and you can't wear, I don't know, this shirt. Or
So brave of you, Alex.
Yeah.
Thanks for being an ally.
Our viewers are really going to comment below.
Such a brave statement to make.
Comment your experiences down below. I don't think Cade really.
What was your favorite candy growing up?
Well, we're just going to transition away from this.
Continue on your soapbox, Alex, about how you're such a patriot for women.
No,
something that affected them back whenever they were in middle school.
So in high school too. But no. So, but earlier you talked about like your strict teachers.
You know what I think? The pay gap's also bad. It's a bad situation out there.
Your strict teachers.
You know what's bad, Alex? Sexism in general. I just think that's awful. I don't know. I'm just going to say this. I don't know if it's controversial, but I think women should be treated better.
Well, you know what? Hey, let's talk about the pay gap. By God.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. I went to a very like more conservative school though. So.
Yeah. I did too.
I had long hair when I was in school, and I had some teachers that were like, men shouldn't have long hair. It was like,
really?
Yeah, there was one teacher in specific who was like, hated men with long hair. And like, that was like a well-known thing of just like men having long hair. He hated it. He did not like male students who had long hair. Cause I genuinely don't know why. Like I could not give you a reason why. Like, maybe because they're like hippie or whatever. Like I could not tell you why, but he hated guys with long hair. And
and that's also like a relatively. I mean, that's I guess American thing. It's odd, Obviously, Nordic country. I mean, Vikings wore long hair. Native Americans, of course, would wear long hair. So it's very much a very interesting thing. That's I mean, even the founding fathers wore wigs that were long. It's a relatively new sort of concept in the history of things to have, say, men have short hair.
They didn't want you having long hair. That it
was just
we never had that problem.
There wasn't like a.
Well, how did he make that known?
It wasn't like a rule, but it was just like
This teacher.
I think so. This has been many years now, but he treated like the male students much differently. But also he talked to some students about like telling some students like, "Hey, you need to get a haircut." Like telling male students, "You need to get a haircut."
Jumped in there. Okay. Was he a coach as well?
He was the ag teacher. He was the agricultural teacher.
Interesting.
Or he was one of the ag teachers. I think there were like two. So, leave it a little like up in the air.
You had two ag teachers.
I think there were two ag teachers, yeah. Or two ag coaches. I'm not sure. I was never in ag, but yeah, one of them was like, it was just like a well-known fact through the school of just like, oh yeah, he doesn't like. And then I had another, I had a librarian. I loved her though. She always gave me a hard time, but she was always like, get a haircut. But like, I think it was for her, it was more that my hair was unkempt rather than it was long. I don't know. I stood up for teachers as well, though. The whole thing I was trying to say here is I would stand up for some of the teachers as well, because we had a teacher that a lot of people didn't like because she was hard and strict, but I actually liked her, and I feel like I learned a lot. Like in hindsight, I learned a lot from her.
Yeah.
Even, I think she could have been a little more lax on some of the rules, but I did learn a lot from her. Like, say what you will about some of those teachers, but like some of the strict, mean ones, you learn the most from. Yeah. Sometimes.
And to be fair to her, she was put in a talk about the lady. We want to move past this lady, but to be fair to her, transitions were a new of technology that had just came around at that point, and that was becoming more and more popular. They were heavily marketing push, so she should have known about them. But they were relatively new, and the fact of the matter is that she already dug herself into a hole by saying take off the sunglasses, and that she had to go all the way to the end of that. And I know that too, where you have to like just stick with your guns, and you had to tell this little kid to be like, and take them off until they change. So I get it to a certain extent, but I had her back. She should have made special rules for me. That's what I always think.
My first grade teacher was awful.
Okay. Did she hit you or something?
She didn't. No, she didn't hit me, but she was one of those people that like I genuinely did not like. Oh. Like I just genuinely.
She didn't let you play?
No, she was mean.
Oh. Do you remember your first grade teacher?
Yeah, I remember all of my teachers. Yeah. I have at least one memory from every teacher.
Like
yeah, well, at least one memory. But he's saying that he has like a whole treasure trove of trauma from this lady.
I mean, kind of like it was so bad. No, here's the thing: is that it was
Stop
so
laughing
bad.
at it, Alan. He just said he had a treasure trove of trauma, and you laughed at it as if that's a funny phrase.
I need you to be more supportive. I'm sorry, Andrew.
I support women. I support you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm not a woman, but thank you.
Oh, yeah. I support women.
I revoke my support of you.
I either support women or Andrew.
No, like my first grade teacher did not like her. I thought she was mean, and even my parents thought she was mean.
Oh wow!
My parents.
Do we have specifics here?
Well, like I got sent to the office a lot for really dumb stuff.
Name one.
And I may have explained this. Did I explain this in another podcast?
I don't recall.
Okay,
I'll stop you and end up halfway if I've heard it before.
Well, like one time this happened. I got put in the corner because I was doing something wrong. Like I was told to sit in the corner. Everybody else went to lunch, and I didn't. And about and I sat there. I sat there because I was told to sit there, and nobody came and got me. She didn't come and get me. And
did she know you were in the corner?
This is what happened. Is that like I'm sitting there in a corner, and there's another student that comes in, and he said, why are you not at lunch? And I said, because I was told to sit here. And he was just like, okay, well,
why did the other was this another first grade student?
No. Yeah. And
he came in for
he came in to like, I think he forgot like, his lunch money or something like that. But like he came in and he was like, what are you still doing here? And I said, I was told to sit here. So here I sit. Mm-hmm. And so like about 5 minutes later, another student comes in and says, like, she told you to come in there. And I went in there. She bought my lunch and she sat right next to me and like put her arm around me. And I was like, you fucked up.
Wow.
Wow.
Andrew
So-
was a corner boy.
Yeah. I got sent to the office quite a bit in first grade. A lot of it for no good
That's the
reason.
title of the episode.
Corner boy.
Andrew was a corner boy.
But yeah, that's what happened. I did not.
Can't wait to see that on Facebook Messengers. Wow.
And she tried to, like in later years, she's tried to friend me on Facebook, and she's been in limbo.
So is there anybody you keep?
So you still hold a grudge against your
Well,
first grade
the
teacher?
thing is that like it's like I forgive you, but I don't care about you.
I have
This
a
is a
genuine
one
question for you.
instance situation.
I have a genuine
Well,
question for you.
it's
She made you a corner boy, and now you won't friend her on Facebook.
no, she was just real that was just one
Cade.
specific thing.
Andrew doesn't accept friend requests.
So is there anybody that brings up a good point here? So this lady abused him and then put him in a
Well,
corner.
hang on. I have a genuine question for you, Andrew.
I had
Is there a
good corner.
possibility that you were a bad student and you deserve to be in trouble all these times?
Maybe.
I think you should.
Maybe, because the thing is that like the definition of a bad student for me would be like disruptive. They're mean to other kids. They don't treat anybody with any respect. I got sent to the office a lot. Now that I think about it, for stuff that was just really dumb, like really stupid, because I know in my heart that I know that I wasn't a bad kid.
Okay.
I know in my
Some
heart that I
people
wasn't.
change when they get older. So
Yeah.
like,
and the thing is that there would be times when I wouldn't follow the rules. That wouldn't necessarily merit getting sent to the office.
Yeah.
you know,
And,
I think,
that's pretty much what I got sent to the office for, was just like little itty bitty stupid stuff like that.
I think what you need to do is you need to accept her on Facebook and message her and ask, I remember you sending me to the office in first grade all the time.
Yeah, maybe so.
Can you explain this? What if she comes out and she's like, Andrew, you murdered a child. You murdered a classmate. Like, of course I was sending you to the office all this time. Like, you blocked out these memories. Like, what if you blocked it? Like, what if first grade, like you were a great kid your entire life except first grade. First grade you were a bad, but you blocked out those memories.
I mean, if I
You
did-
could have killed a kid.
I don't think I killed anybody. Well,
Seems like that would have went past the principal's office.
Yeah, and more like the police station, and
You were first grade. What are they
Well,
going to do?
that
Lock
wasn't
you
a
up?
good. That wasn't a good way to take it. I have a better way of taking this. So the friend request thing. Is there anybody that you have sitting there that's like you that they've sent you a friend request and then you just don't respond? Do you reject it or do you not respond to it?
There's some that like I don't reject friend requests because like I
But they're
recognize
spam.
if they are spam, I know they're spam. Like I not only do I not accept it, but I report it. So and there's also people that are sorry. There's also people that
He was
are
yawning.
like, that are like genuinely like not real. Like and you can tell that they're not real.
Yeah. I would call that spam.
Yeah.
So I usually leave them in the limbo because if I don't know them, if I don't recognize them, or I don't really remember them, and some people just like they send me a friend request at a bad time and I just miss it. And so like, but I try to accept most people, but like I need to know you or have
Let's
at
pull
least,
them up. Let's pull up. See what we got here. Pull up your friend request.
I hope none of the people that have sent me a friend request.
My phone's in the other room.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
You have 144 friend requests.
Oh my god.
Is that what that
who?
says?
See, I don't know this person. I don't. Oh, wait. You know what? I do know these people. I can accept. I can confirm these two people.
Oh my god.
I don't know this.
He's going to accept 144 people on
I don't
Facebook
recognize
right
this.
now.
Oh my god, I do know this person. I don't recognize that person. I think I know that. I know that person, but I might accept that person later, but just not right now.
Yeah.
I don't remember this person. I don't know this person.
Then remove the request.
Who are you? No, like what if it comes up though and it's like, oh,
we're
I
friends.
do know them. Yeah, do you know who this person is?
Yeah.
You can look at their profile.
Should I accept? I mean, they're friends with 34.
Are they friends with me?
Let's see. I'll just search you, Cade.
Are they friends with me?
They are friends with Cade. Let me see if they're friends with Andrew.
I'll tell you the sad situation there about this guy.
Not friends with you, Andrew.
I think he used to be my roommate in college.
Can I see his profile real quick? Oh, him. Yeah, I remember him.
So
But only for like a semester.
I know that person, but I'm just not going to accept that one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one. Pretty sure I don't want that one. I don't know who that is. That person has no mutual friends. That's a year old.
Yeah.
I thought that one would have been spam, but I guess it hasn't. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're real.
I mean,
they could be fans of our show.
they could.
Yeah, they could have.
The other thing is that like when it comes to Facebook and their friend requests,
Yeah.
you don't have to accept them, and you don't have to
I
accept
should probably
them. Like,
accept this person.
there are people out there.
Well, this is the problem is here, Alex, is that you're having things that people have sent things 20 weeks ago.
A year ago.
But
But I don't know this person.
If you don't know them, then you remove them.
No, but like, what if it comes up and then like I meet him again and
Then you can add them.
Then you just be like,
because then they'll be like, but I added you. Why didn't you accept me? So now it's better to leave it in limbo, and then I can be like, do we?
I can't say that, but
See, but I don't know. I don't recognize a lot of these people, and then some people I just don't like. But it's like I'm not going to say no.
is there
you
going to
know?
be like a little blurb, like right here at the, like right here at the
that's
bottom
a
of the screen?
teacher.
Which one?
That's what we would. That's
Wait, who is? Wait,
I never had this person as a
you
teacher.
never had her as a teacher.
No.
Okay, go back. And then okay, this we went to school with. He was in our club together as well.
Oh,
I need to see this person. Oh yeah, he's cool too.
I'll accept his.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? 5 years ago. Alex, you can't accept something from 5 years ago.
Did. Cade, I just did.
We're doing it live right now on camera. It's no peer pressure or anything.
Okay, that's all. That's all, Cade. So that's okay. You know what? We narrowed it down. We have taken it down to 137.
So if
How many do you have,
144
Cade?
It
to,
doesn't tell me how many I have, but
It should say it at the top up here.
it doesn't have it on top of mine. It must be a Android.
So why haven't that person's 9 weeks?
I don't know
3
who
years.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, 27 mutual friends though.
Yeah, I know. It seems like I should know who that is.
5 weeks ago, 3 years ago. Why haven't you accepted your people?
These are people I've intentionally not.
see, it's again, you don't have to accept anybody's friend request.
Right.
You really don't. And the thing is that like, I find it really strange that out of the blue, I would get a friend request from my first grade teacher who I just seriously do not like.
Yeah.
See, I think you need to reach out to her and just ask her if she remembers why you went to the office so much and kind of like see why. Because like, what if you were a bad student in first grade? I know you know in your heart you weren't.
Yeah.
What if you were? What if first grade was like, you know, your bad year, and
Yeah.
then every year after that you were like a really good student?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Or she really did, or she's just going to say, "I actually don't remember you at all."
Yeah. Well, probably not.
Interesting.
But yeah, like she was one that I really.
What would you do if it turned out you were a really bad student in first grade? Would that change your entire like life perspective?
No. No, the thing is that like
It was first grade.
I mean, like if the thing is that like if I was bad at something or wasn't good at something, the quickest way to like move on is to accept it. You know, if you're going to refute it, then like you better have evidence to prove it. This was first grade.
Yeah.
This was 30 years ago. I don't remember. So like if I was a bad kid, maybe I was a bad kid.
How old are you, Andrew?
I am 37.
37.
So Andrew gets sent to the office.
But I also
Is that
like
another title you could.
I like that one. That's actually probably pretty good. You're approaching 40.
yep.
How does that feel?
It feels fine. I'm not like, you know, a lot of people are always saying like, oh man, you're approaching 40, you know, what are you going to do? Dude, I'm going to do something that I'm going to tell you about every other birthday I have.
I'm going to accept my first grade teacher's friend request.
You know what? I'm going to do that on my birthday. But no, like I feel fine about it. You know, the thing is that
What you do is you do accept people on your birthday, so then they have to wish you a happy birthday.
exactly.
I mean, after 30, I feel like there's no other, like there's 30 and then what, 50? And then
You had to do
Well, I mean,
40.
there's 40. I mean,
You had to do the
is 40 like a big like jump? Like
40 is a big jump.
yeah, 40 is a big jump.
30 is a big jump. From 20 to 30, that's a big jump.
I mean, well, like
I don't know. To me, 40 seems a little bit bigger.
I mean, like
That seems a little bit more of a like 50 is the thing that doesn't matter. I mean, it's a good number, but it's like at that point it doesn't matter as much, and it becomes less and less mattering.
Yeah.
But like up to 40, it's big. It's a big deal.
yeah,
That makes sense, I guess.
when it comes to when it comes to age anymore, I just don't care. The thing, like, will I celebrate my birthday? Of course I will, but will I be like, oh man, you're 40 years old? I don't care. Like the thing is that like when it comes to turning 40, it doesn't bother me. I hope, if it's just another year to do something better, to be better than who I was before. The thing is that like you can't, if I worry about turning 40, I'd be too anxious.
Yeah.
And if I, worry that I didn't do stuff whenever I was younger, I'd be depressed. And the thing is that like, you can't do either one of those. You have to be, be happy with yourself.
You have to move on from the first grade.
Yes.
Clip that, Cade. That is perfect. Everything you just said there, beautiful.
So, I mean, like that.
I mean, how do you all feel? Y'all are getting ready to turn 30.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're 26.
Yeah.
You got 4 more years.
It is. It's a little.
I think I'll
it's a
start
little-
worrying in 2.
It's a little nerve wracking. I mean, the thing about it is that we're very close to like 10 years after high school.
Yeah. Oh,
Are y'all going to go to your 10 year?
that's in 2 years. I want to. I really do.
Well, they sit there. I got an invite by these people that's like, hey, we got to start planning our 10-year high school thing. And I'm like, we're 2 years. This was like a few months ago. We're 10 years away from that, or 2 years away from that. Let's pump the brakes a little bit, unless this is going to be some extravagant thing. So I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of those people who did that. Shout out to those people. Not a fan of you. Like you wait a little bit.
So does that mean you're not going to go?
I don't know
wanna
if
go.
you want to go.
I do, because I want to see where a lot of these people ended up. I want them to see where I've ended up. Because some of them didn't think I would really amount to anything. And I want to be like, look at me. I have lived in a bunch of different states, and I am.
I think that's fair. Like,
Can you censor that? I just did one of these.
He's going to zoom in.
I mean, I think that's. I mean, a lot of them haven't left the area. I would assume.
Oh, my people?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And then
don't
you
get me
went
wrong.
around to several different places. Lived in several places.
I'm still good friends with a lot of them, but there were like, 5 or 10 of them that were just like, I'm sure everyone's like that, but there's those 5 or 10 that I kind of want to go back and just be like, hey, look at me. Which I don't know, that seems a little petty and high schoolerish, but
Well,
I mean, I'm less desired. When I first graduated, that was like a big desire of mine, but now that we're getting closer, it's just like, I don't know, I want to see where everyone is and just kind of like,
See, I'm not close with anybody.
See, here's the thing: is that next year is my 20 year.
Oh,
whoa.
My 20 year high school reunion, because I graduated in 2004, and I went to my 10 year. And my 10 year was fine. It wasn't.
So what do you do? Do you just like go to the school and mill around?
There was an option to do that, but we had our party at like a different part of town because we couldn't do it at the high school at the time.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know where it's going to be this go around, but I do know that whenever I had my 10 year, it was fine. I got to see some people I hadn't seen before, and I got to talk. Most everybody that I knew at my 10 year, I know on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the point is anymore of it.
I mean, the real treat about going to a high school reunion is like, did you go to school with anyone who's famous now?
Yeah, I mean that is a thing now. Is like, do you know this guy? He went to this class. Oh my god!
Because what if you went to school with like a big celebrity and they just show up to your class reunion? Now you get there. Like,
Yeah, what if you graduated with Beyonce?
yeah. So like, I don't think there's anyone. I mean, there's like 1 or 2 people that I graduated with who might actually have like some. I don't think anyone is famous, but there's some people who definitely have like a bit of a following. So
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see those people just kind of like connect with some of those. Like, I would love to reconnect with some of these people now that we're
fascinating because that is true that like there are people that have a have a following, and that's got to be like one of the first like generations where there are people that have like a online following that you went to school with, and that's going to be kind of an odd situation, an odd wrinkle to that.
You
to
have
that.
You have a following, Cade.
Yeah, I mean a little bit of a following. I mean, there's some certain people and different things that have more, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just an odd wrinkle to it. I never really considered that. Like now that our generation is going to have people are going to be there, like with followers.
Yeah,
That's odd. That's an odd
it's
situation.
all going to be one giant Zoom meeting.
But like for me, there's some of these people that I would love to connect with and like maybe like do something with, because like now that we have this, there's a few of my classmates that I'm like I would love to sit and have like a podcast episode with.
There's one that I have that I've like I would like to sit down with, but that outside of that, I'm really not. I'm not close to these people anymore, and so like, that's difficult.
That's kind of how I feel. Is that like some of these people, like there are a couple of people that I have gotten closer to, and there are several other people where I'm just like, you know what, no big,
and we're different. They're different. Like that's the thing that you'd have to have a hard time with is like I'm a completely different person than and I'm assuming that they are as well.
Yeah,
and so that's a tough thing of like, do you act like how you were? Do you not even like, do you slip into it accidentally because you're around these people that you were that person with, or do you kind of act or you go against that sort of instinct and act like who you currently are?
That would be kind of my issue too, because like everybody knows me as like Mr. Wrigley, and I always give out gum, and that was my that was my high school shtick. And the thing is that
okay.
I mean, that was who I was.
Base level.
I mean, that was like who I was. And,
where are you going to, so if you go to your 20th, are you going to come with gum? Did you go with gum to your 10th?
I don't remember. I took pictures while I was there. I was the only one who brought my camera. And I just everybody else had their phones and they were taking pictures with everybody else. I was the one who documented it.
So are you officially, or was it just like you brought that just to have?
I brought that just to have.
So do you find yourself more comfortable with just being at these events with a camera?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that like, this is how I see it, is when you come there with a camera and you take pictures, when you come there with the camera and you're taking pictures, look around and see if anybody else has a camera. I guarantee you nobody else does. You're recording something that's a part of a history, not history itself, but just a history. And people do want to look at that stuff. People do want to go over it and take a look at it and say, oh yeah, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Because if it's like if you go to First Friday with a camera, First Friday is an arts festival here. Lots of people are there with cameras and they're doing whatever. But if you go to an event with a camera, and you're documenting something like that, then it gets like, okay, I'm actually documenting something that's important. Like one thing I did whenever everything started shutting down in 2020, and about a month into it, I just started going around town and just taking photos of just businesses, streets, what have you, just how people are adapting to it. You look back at it now, it's like, oh shit, that actually happened in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
In our lifetime. And it wasn't that long ago. Just 3 years ago, every one of us was forced to stay home. Mm-hmm. Just 3 years ago, every one of us could not stand. We were deathly afraid of being this close to each other.
Yeah.
So, does
it concern you that that you're not in any of the photos or anything like that? Do you like being on the?
Nope, doesn't concern me at all.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if people want to come get photos with me, absolutely. I love getting photos with people. Mm-hmm. I love making those memories.
Yeah.
But I also love capturing those memories too.
I do a lot of event photography and things, and it has you have like a purpose to be there, and it has a reason to you can have conversation with people, and then you can have an out as well. I got to go capture things or whatever.
It's also that you're not, I hate to say this, that you're not bored.
Yes, I agree.
Because if you go to an event, especially like a wedding reception or anything like that, that's cool. That's cool if the people invite you, and I'm happy for them. But most of the time, I'm just sitting there and I'm bored as hell. Mm-hmm. I feel like I got to move.
Well, and that's and you have the ability, like if you're at an event, you feel like there's certain things that are off limits or places to go and you can't go and you feel awkward. But like if you have a camera, you can be in any sort of corner of any sort of thing and no one minds. And that also you have a task at hand.
Yeah.
That you're like, I had to capture this thing. And I'm always like looking for the stories.
Yes.
That's something that like you don't really kind of, it's hard to explain to people that don't do that, but you're always looking for what's like the composition, what's good area, but then like also like where are the things happening that's interesting in the room.
Yeah. And that's what I tell my students is like, there's a reason why you have a camera. I know this is like just philosophical deep level stuff, but like you are the documentarian in this. You're recording this moment in time. You can be there 2 hours early, but you can't be half a second late.
Wow. That's true.
Oh yeah.
I forgot I didn't have my mic.
Yeah. And and I've been at events, of course, that obviously, but that where there's a photographer there, and like you're like, and you don't know, like I have like a kinship with that person, but I don't know. It feels weird going to events sometimes now where you're not. That's not your focus or whatever.
No.
I've done that so often.
And every once in a while, like I was at a wedding recently and I was taking photos and there was a friend of mine who was there and it's just like, why don't you enjoy the wedding a little bit? And I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
But they're like, no. Like enjoy the
food. Yeah. People don't realize that it is, you almost are hyper aware of the event.
Pretty much.
In a way that like they're not. Like they're in it, and so like you are enjoying it as well as being in it. Like it's like, I don't know, it's like that's the level in which I kind of prefer to be at, of like a kind of an outside thing, but you're in it, but you're able to like hop in and out, and then you're just kind of hyper aware of everything that's going on, and like you can kind of jump into any sort of conversation that you want to, instead of just sort of staying put in one. Like that's at events, you're kind of just like locked into the one group that you're in, or locked into the one conversation, whereas like when you're in that setting, you can kind of buzz around easily, and just hop in and out of things. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. People don't quite understand. People think that it's like you're not in it, and people think that. I'll tell you the thing that I always thought people sort of thought when you jumped in that like it would be hard to do that because you're like photographing people, and initially when you first start, it is kind of an awkward situation.
Yeah.
But then I don't feel that way at all anymore.
No, I don't feel that way at all either. Because the thing is that like if people know you for stuff like that, then they're just going to accept it.
Yeah.
And you're not doing it out of rudeness. Mm-hmm. You're doing it because because it's just another perspective. Mm-hmm. And even as us photographers, there are times that we can miss moments. There are times at weddings, at events,
by a millisecond almost.
Yeah. There are times when at weddings, at events, at birthdays and whatnot, whenever I miss something and I'm just like, shit, I wish I could have done that. But when you're only one person doing it sucks. It really does suck. But at the same time,
you do capture things too.
Yeah, I'm a marketing intern, and so I take photos now, and a lot of my stuff is sport related, and so
that's a lot faster.
And I do everything on my phone, but it's still like
which is good because you can it shoots quicker and flat. What we do, it's like you had to quickly get something in focus and everything, and then like you miss something from that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my phone. I mean. There's a pro setting on it, and so I can change like basically the frame rate, the speed of which it shutters its capture.
What kind of a phone do you have?
It's an S21, Samsung S21 FE, and so I can change it to like I'll change it to 1/350 or 1/500, depending on the sport. 1/180 if I'm from farther away because it's not as blurry. But yeah, if I'm up close and they're like dunking or spiking a ball or whatever. I'll throw it on 1/350 and snap it, and
that's cool. I didn't know you did that.
The only downside is that like if I'm capturing a bigger a wider area and I take a photo of like you, or if I took a photo of Cade, then you might turn black and white.
Okay.
So, but it's a phone, and so for a phone it does the job. But yeah, so I actually know what you're talking about.
So the three of us work in marketing.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah. Wow.
Awesome.
the three.
Well, this is going to be the best marketed episode of Cade
Hell
Friends.
yes.
Andrew does marketing,
Marketing.
or the three do marketing. Is that the episode title? We're just coming up with episode titles. But
What was it? 3 go to the market. Are you in the market?
I personally like Andrew goes to the office.
But back to what you were saying earlier about high school reunions. Yeah, my 20 years coming up. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to go. Not 100% sure if I'm going to go.
Well,
I don't know.
When is it? A year? You said?
It's next year, so sometime next year.
Well, I guess we'll find out. I mean,
Next
it'll be
time you're on.
documented on this podcast.
Yes, it will. So I'll either be 38 or 39 whenever I do it.
It'll be interesting if we get you on in say like 5 months and we ask you the question again, and you might be like, "Oh, I'm definitely not going," or maybe you'll be leaning more towards going for some reason. So it'll be interesting to see it.
Now, here's the thing: is that like for my 10-year, I originally said that I wasn't going to go, and I ended up changing my mind at the last minute.
Yeah.
But my thing is that like if you're going to go, just go there for a little bit. I wouldn't stay too long unless they're going to be like, stick around for prizes or whatnot, but like,
Unless there's door prizes. Lee.
yeah, unless there's door prizes. But we had good food whenever we did it. And I stuck around and I talked to some of the people, and somebody I knew is now a nuclear engineer.
Wow.
Yeah. Which surprised me. I'm like, you work in nuclear engineering? He's like, yep. And I said, all right then.
So where do you hope your life is in 10 years?
In 10 years, I hope to have my own studio. I hope to have my own home.
Yeah.
I'd love to have my own home with my own studio. And
Studio there or studio elsewhere?
either one.
Would you let us film podcasts there?
Yeah.
We got it on document.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's at 4:48 on so-and-so date.
Thank you for not dating us. I really feel like we've avoided dating ourselves.
we really avoided it. Really, really hard. We opened the show with very dated things.
But the thing is that like, I hope in 10 years, I would love to have my own, like photography business and hopefully have a drones license by then, because I'm working towards that.
Yeah.
And taking that drones prep course is tough.
Really?
Yeah. You're essentially becoming a pilot.
Wow.
Huh. Well, that's great, Andrew.
That's fascinating.
That's fascinating.
Where do you hope to be in 10 years, Cade?
I don't know. 10 years. I mean, I want
When you're polishing your 7 Academy Awards.
yeah, I mean, I see myself, with filmmaking. Hopefully that sort of does some things. I mean, I would be interested. This will I would love for this to grow and everything, and both Cade Friends and Double Feature. I think Cade Friends has just a lot you can do with it and everything. So that'd be exciting. But yeah, I want to be able to make the things I want to make, with filmmaking and stuff. Right now, it feels like I'm very much in a box with things. But I do think I have, the creativity to do stuff, but I don't really want to go into like a studio system, but it does afford you the ability to do things. But so I don't honestly know. But I do want to make more things and have the ability to make what I want. But we will see how that all goes.
Mr. Alex?
I mean,
I just took over your show. I'm sorry.
in 10 years, I want to be successful. I would love to see this. I mean, I'm back in school, so I'd like to see myself with a bachelor's degree.
Would you get a master's?
Huh?
Would you get a master's?
Oh no, too much research papers and that. I hate research papers. With master's degrees, you have to write like a whole, thing. No way for me. No way for Alex. Maybe like a bunch of associate degrees, sure. Maybe a
bunch of associate degrees doesn't equal a master's.
Yeah, you're telling me 10 associate degrees doesn't equal a master's?
I wish it did. I wish it worked that way.
It should. But I'd like to be successful. I'd love to see this doing well, or, like doing more stuff with Cade, like filming stuff. Or, but like also what I'm getting my degree in, it's a management degree essentially. And I mean, being a manager at somewhere, but I mean, ultimately I would love to keep doing this in like documentaries and movie making and filmmaking with Cade. And so just kind of like, I mean, if I could move into doing this full time, that would be like super great. So that's what I would love to see in 10 years. But if that can't happen, I'd want to be a manager somewhere. But I mean, Cade and I, we've been doing this since 2019, we've sort of been doing stuff.
Yes, but we haven't.
No, not 2019. Sorry, 2016. Really, 2015, 2016. We've been doing this. So, but I don't think we're going to give up anytime soon.
Yeah, no. And then, I mean, if the pandemic didn't kill it, I don't know what will.
Yeah,
that was. We started
the
right
pandemic
before.
If we get like an asteroid or something that's going to come to Earth.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's possible.
Really, the pandemic. Yeah. No. I mean, yeah, we've done a lot, and I mean, I think Cade and I are finally getting the groove, and so we got this going. We've made some really cool stuff, and now it's just And
we didn't do any bits, like that. That's the interest. Like I try to push to sort of see what are the sort of corners to this format. When we first started, there's a lot of bits and there's a lot of segments, and a lot of things where we're going to pivot and do that. And then sometimes we'll, there's just a lot of different variety of things. Sometimes we'll sit down and tell someone's life story. Sometimes we'll still do these comedy bits where we do, whatever, lore crimes or
an occasional bit.
Yeah. And so there's sometimes, and then sometimes we'll just sit here and have a conversation. I like sometimes if like Hannah and Joseph will do, it's insanity, thing. But I like the variety that this has. And I like,
yes,
this episode in particular, no bits really, but it's a nice conversation.
Yes.
So that's why I like the variety of it. But yeah, no, I wish you the best, Andrew. I hope that whatever we do in 10 years, we're all here together. We'll have you on talking about your studio and everything.
We're each
we might be filming in a studio.
Might be filming in a studio.
We're each polishing in like 3 Oscars. Mm-hmm. One of us has a Palme d'Or award.
You technically speaking, I like to say this. I'm technically.
He likes to say technically speaking.
I like to say technically speaking, I'm an award-winning actor, and you worked on an award-winning movie.
He's an award-winning actor. He was an actor in that.
Were you an actor in Ribbon?
Yeah, he had a lot more lines than you did.
Yeah, like, don't you remember me? I was the boss who got fired.
Oh my God, how did I forget that?
I was also
he's like in the opening scene of the film.
I was also
a
nominated screenwriter, a cinematographer.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, both of us were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the same situation. We got nominated. Yeah. We got nominated for best cinematography.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, you're an award-winning actor, and you worked on an award-winning movie.
Mm-hmm. Cha-ching.
Yes.
I'm
an award-winning actor as well.
Yeah, because you have
eat your heart out,
2 lines. So
yeah,
I love saying that though, because it's like, Ribbon, not Ribbon, sorry, like the documentary, the cookie cutter documentary you made
that's an award-winning documentary too.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool just seeing, on technical levels.
Yeah.
Ribbon is definitely more of a technical. The cookie cutter documentary is like, no, it actually
won something. Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoyed talking to you all.
Maybe all 3 of us will have an Oscar though.
Yeah, and I would like to, have work on some more things with you, Andrew. That's.
Well, I like to work on more stuff with you because I like your imagination.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, only Ribbon. Of course, you acted in that, and you.
I got fired beautifully.
Yes, and then you did the cinematography for the ribbon dancing sequence. Yeah. But but we also did that music video together. We do. I would like to work some more with you, but Andrew's so busy. Andrew, you always stay so busy.
Yeah, it's gonna dry up here pretty quick. Mm-hmm. Pretty soon.
Why?
Say what?
You're gonna burn your bridges?
No, I'm not gonna burn my. Oh no, my God, no, absolutely not. No. It's just like things are just gonna. He's gonna
get canceled.
I shouldn't say dry up. I should say slow down.
Yeah.
Things are gonna slow down. I just lost my blanket. Okay, so
You said this is it definitely slides down to the ground because of how weighted it is.
no, I might take a break here before too long because like I want to focus on other things and get like, you know what? I would love to go somewhere right now, and I've been trying to maybe go to somewhere like maybe in the fall. I would just like to just kind of get out of Tulsa, not
Because you hate it.
say what? Well, it's like
You're burning the bridges.
I don't hate. Oh,
Andrew burns bridges.
no, like it's like, you know, everybody needs a vacation. Everybody needs a vacation.
You know what? People don't need bridges. Andrew loves burning things, and those things that he burns are bridges.
It tracks with his character.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well, that has been Cade and Friends. Thank you, Andrew, for doing this. We will have you
thank you.
on again in the future.
Do you want to go ahead and plug your
yes,
ads again?
Plug your ads again.
Yeah, one more time. I would like to plug in C. Andrew Nichols Photos on Facebook. C. Andrew Nichols Photos. On
C as in the
C as in the letter. So yeah, C. Andrew Nichols, AndreNichols, on Instagram, and Andrew _of_ Nichols also on Instagram.
And you don't forget Andrew Nichols on TikTok.
And don't forget Candrew Nichols on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my personal favorite name of Andrew. I call Andrew Candrew quite a bit.
There we are.
there we go.
And yeah, and so yeah, there's that. All right, cool.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I thank you for plugging yourself, Andrew.
Yeah, no problem. And remember, you know, just here.
We don't do bits on this show.
No, we don't.
This is a bit-free episode, as I said. I don't know why.
What if we just did the whole? Can we just do the whole podcast?
Podcast like this. You think this makes the audience comfortable?
No.
Looking directly into the lens.
I mean, you know, it could be an interesting, like, short, like three men stare at a camera podcast.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Andrew, for being on. I appreciate you. I think you're a great friend.
Thank you.
Stay in the shot, Andrew.
The quality isn't the best.
I love your perspective, and you're just a very nice person.
Well, daggum. I like you all too.
Yeah, you have some positive things to say to Andrew?
Yeah, Andrew's really great. Like you said, he has really good perspectives, like Sam Jones.
Oh,
that's
a
reference.
That's a weird. No one's gonna get that one.
No one's gonna get that one at all.
Nope. Ain't no one gonna get that one but the three of us.
Great. Thanks for. That's it.
Okay, yeah, we'll end with that. Bye, everyone.
Bye. It's gonna dry up here pretty quick.
You're gonna burn your bridges?
No, I'm not gonna burn my. Oh no, my God, no!
You're burning the bridges. Andrew burns bridges.